like touching me, like, how do I say, like he's like feeling me. That is basically the story of how my mom saved me from this predator and abuser. 2-3 years ago, I recently saw the man at an ATM machine. And what's up, people? Bemi.A. I'm a Nigerian lifestyle vlogger based here in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you found yourself liking this video, my content, my vibe, and everything on my channel, please click on the subscribe button and notification bell to always get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you're returning back to my channel, loyal gang, to farewell story time. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do not take it for granted. Really, I don't. I appreciate you guys for your support and everything that you guys do for me on this channel and even beyond. So this video, guys, is basically about how my mom, my amazing and adorable mom, supported me and fought for me in the hands of a predator and abuser and all that stuff. This video is basically just to encourage mothers out there, including myself, and parents out there, you know, including myself, that be close to your children. Let them be able to tell you stuff, you know, let them be able to, or even the people, even if they can't tell you, let people that they are closer to be able to talk to you, you know, and let them be able to open up to people and talk to people about things. And, you know, just don't neglect them, especially with all this rape and sexual abuse and everything that is going on around the world right now. Please be close to your children, please, please, please. Okay, so if you want to watch this story time and, you know, enjoy yourself, you know, just sit back, get a glass of water or something, or, you know, I'm drinking lemon water here. Get a glass and yeah, sit back and let's jump right into the video. Story time. So this basically happened when I was still in high school, secondary school. I feel like if anybody in my set in high school watches this video, they would remember this story. I feel like they remember this story, but let me just quickly, I don't want the video to be too long. Yeah, so that year, I think I was in SS2 or SS3. I don't remember. SS2 or SS3, that was when this thing happened. My parents traveled to, was it Israel? I think they traveled to Israel that year. They just supposed to spend like 5 days or so. Yeah, they want to, normally whenever they travel like that, they take us to our friend's house to stay, or family, basically the family friend's house, or yeah, family friend's house to stay. And yeah, but this time around, my brother and I were like, nah, we want to stay in the house, we don't want to go anywhere. And we felt like we were grown and mature enough to take care of ourselves and our sister, my sister Debbie. So yeah, and surprisingly, my mom listened to us, you know, and she said, okay, we can stay at home. And her, like, my aunt or somebody will come and be checking on us every 2 days or so. They were just supposed to be gone for about 5 days, but they'll be checking on us, and then the driver will come pick us and go to school, and then come and drop us in the evening. And yeah, that was basically the arrangement. And then she gave me some money to buy some food stuff for ourselves and take care of ourselves. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything new. I've been taking care of my siblings, so it wasn't a big deal to me, and I was so happy. We were happy for freedom, you know. So yeah, this day comes. I think my parents had been gone for about 2 or 3 days. So I went to school that day. The driver dropped us off in the morning, got to school. I wanted to buy food stuff. I wanted to buy tomato and pepper, but obviously I couldn't buy it in the morning because I was going to school. So what I did was I took the money along. That when we're coming back from school, the driver would stop at the market and I would buy the tomato and pepper, and, you know, that I wanted to use to make stew. And I think maybe like chicken or something. I think the money was about 5,000 naira. It wasn't, I don't remember how much, but it was like a significant amount for a young girl. But, you know, I don't remember how much that year, but that was kind of like the amount. So yeah, so I went to school. If you know secondary schools very well, like juniors will wear like pinafore, and then seniors will wear like skirt and blouse and all that good stuff. And I was a senior, so I was wearing skirt and blouse. And you know how we used to like shaping our skirts, like our skirts were straight and it was like shaping and kind of fitted and tight, and, you know, we knew what we were doing just to perfection. So that was kind of like how my skirt was and everything. So I went to school that day. I put the money in my pocket. I had a couple of classes in the morning, and then I think like around noon or so, I went to the library to, I guess, gist with my friends or read or something. I went to the library. So when I was done, I was leaving the library. As I was about to step out, the librarian calls me. Now I'm going to call him Mr. A. Let's call him Mr. A. So he calls me, and I was like, why is someone calling me? Can I help you? So he calls me, and I went to meet him. and he's like, oh, what is that in your pocket? So apparently, when I sat down, the money I put in my pocket was kind of like now today like protruding out. So he was like, oh, what is that in your pocket? I was like, oh, okay, it's my money. So I proceed to put it back in my pocket. And he's like, come here, turn around. I didn't understand. So I turned around and this man takes his hand and slips his hand inside my pocket. So like I said before, like our skirts are like, fitted and all that. So if somebody is slipping hands inside your fitted skirt pocket, it's almost like they're touching your thighs. And you know how like high school girls, like sometimes our pockets would have torn, so they can easily like from from your pocket they can easily enter inside your VJ area, right? So he puts his hand in my pocket and he's like as if he's like touching me, like how do I say, like he's like feeling me. And I was like, what's going on? Like, can you stop? And then as he brings his hand out of my pocket, he brings it out with my cash. I was like, oh, sir, it seems like, please, can I have my money back? He's like, oh, I'm not going to give you this money. That what if it had fallen off? That's how I'll be crying. I'm looking for money. That he's going to hold it and keep it for me. In my head, I was like, teacher, it's even safer in the hands of the teacher than if he fell down. I was like, okay. He said, okay, that I should come back at the end of school to collect it. I was like, okay, no problem, I will. So when school closed, I went to meet him. I was like, can I have my money back now? He's like, oh no, he's doing something right now that I should come when I'm about to go home. So my brother came to call me that the driver was here to take us home, and so I went back to meet him, and I was like, and then I went back to meet him with my brother. I did not go alone, and so I went back to meet him with my brother, and I was like, oh, please, can I have my money? And he's like, oh, well, somebody came to visit him, and so he has given the money to the person that came to visit him. I'm like, I don't follow, I don't understand. But then, if you knew me in high school, I was a big crybaby. Like, not now that my husband says I'm macho now. Like, I don't care, I don't have feelings. But then I was a big crybaby. So immediately, like, Oje Converse, my jalo me, like my eyes were watering. I just like it used to happen like clockwork for me then. I just started, having tears in my eyes. And my brother was like, okay. He said, oh, that by tomorrow you give me the money back. So we went, and then the driver was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I crying? I was like, oh, nothing is wrong with me, blah blah blah. He's like, okay, all right. So when we were going, he was like, oh, so he stopped at the market that, oh, you want to buy what you want to buy? I was like, oh, I can't buy it again, that I don't have the money with me. He's like, why don't you have the money with you? I said, a teacher took it. He was livid, like he was furious. Like, that's one of the best drivers that my parents had. Like, we adore him. He was furious, and he wanted to turn back to go to school, but when we realized that, the man would have left by that time. So I think he was the driver that gave us the money to buy what I wanted to buy real quick. And yeah, so we went home. The next day when we got to school, the driver wanted to follow me to the librarian's office. I told him that when he comes back in the evening, he can follow me. That let me first go and ask him myself. So during school hours, I went to look for the librarian. Apparently, he didn't come to work. He didn't come all day to work. So when the driver came to pick me, he was like, he's nowhere to be. I told him that he didn't come to work today. The driver was mad. Like, okay, all right, no problem. The third day comes, and the driver dropped us in school again, and he said this time that he's going to meet him to ask for my money. But I think by the time we got there, they didn't allow the driver pass, or something like that happened. But the driver was not able to see him. So I went to meet him, and I was like, please, can I have my money back? Like, he was like, oh, that he doesn't have the money yet. I should come after school hours. Basically trying to insinuate that he wanted me to come when nobody was there, basically. And I was like, and I think I went again after school hours with a friend. And once again, he said he didn't have the money. So long story short, my parents got back that weekend. Obviously, there was no school that weekend. So Monday comes, and then Monday morning, my mom gets ready with us, and she's like, she's going to school with us. I was like, I don't understand. But mind you, I didn't tell my mom anything. I didn't tell her anything. Apparently, when the driver went to pick my parents from the airport, that was the first thing he told my parents. But that was the first thing he told my parents. Like, so my mom she didn't even tell me why she was going to school. She just said she's going to school with us. I was like, what is going on? My mom doesn't just suddenly go to school with us like that. So we all went to school together. As we got to school, of course, my siblings and I got down, went to the assembly ground, I think we were supposed to be going out that day from school to somewhere. I think it was C school. So this would have been SS3, I think. I think it was C school or something. I just know that my classmates and I were at car park. And so when my siblings went to the assembly ground, we were at the car park, and then my mom goes into school with my siblings. Um, Before I knew it, she was coming back out. Apparently, when she went into school, she went to see the vice principal. I don't think we had a principal at the time. She went to see the vice principal of the school. And so when she went to meet the vice principal and one other teacher that was kind of like strict that, my mom knew also. And so they saw the vice principal, and I think my mom had explained everything that had happened. And you know how vice principals and teachers like to do over, so I'd be like, she should have come to me, like as if they would have done anything about it. So I guess they told my parents that he wasn't here around, he was not around. I think the man was an NYSC copper. Either he was a copper or he had just finished youth service. So that's why he wasn't always in school, something like that. So he was quite young for a teacher. So they told my mom that the copper was not around. So they were escorting my mom back out, and they were just telling my mom that don't worry, we'll see to the situation and everything. So I saw my mom, my classmates and I saw my mom coming out with the vice principal and the teacher. All of a sudden, here comes the copper coming inside, the librarian coming inside, and then the other teacher and my mom was like, oh yeah, that's him. Hell Jesus. Yeah, baby. My mom was like, good morning. He was like, good morning, ma. He didn't know what was going to hit him. He's like, good morning, ma. My mom was like, yes. You are the librarian of the school. You are the librarian? He was like, yes, the librarian. My mom was like, are you silly? Are you silly? You want to rape my daughter? You want to molest my daughter? You want to this? Like, she was livid. Started going off on him that he wanted to rape me. He wanted to molest me, which was pretty much his intentions. You collected money from me for over 3 or 4 days. You didn't return the money. You kept telling me that I should come and see you after school hours. I should come and meet you. But thank God the first time I went with my brother, the second time I went with my friend, only God knows what would have happened. He kept telling me different things. You put your hand inside my pocket. You were feeling my ties. My mom was livid. Like, she started going, like, people, like, other teachers, other parents, they said, Ejimo, please calm down. She said, I'm not going to calm down. I'm not going to calm down. What do you mean? This is my daughter we are talking about. Why would it? I wasn't even the one that told the story to my mom. It was just the driver that told the story to my mom. And she went ballistic. Like, I can imagine if it was me that now told her the story. Like, I was just there with my classmates at the car park. And secondary school students and my classmates were like, yes, your mom. Yes, she's gold. She's this, she's that. And I was just like, how did she find out? How did she know? Because somehow deep down inside me, I'd have thought that if I told her, she'd have told me I was the one that was at fault. Why did I give the librarian my money? All that stuff now. So that was part of the reason why I didn't mention it to her or anything. I don't know how I was going to get the money back, but I just didn't mention it to her. Man, this experience made me closer to my mom. Like I felt like I could tell her anything at that point in time, because the way she fought for me that day, she told this guy that she was going to throw him in jail. She was going to this, she was going to die. Like, how can you touch her daughter? You touched her daughter. You put your hand inside my daughter's pocket. If the pocket was torn, that's how you'd have touched her vagina. Like, she went in, like, she was, God. I'm sure that guy never, ever, ever in his life again would he have seen a young girl and put hands inside her pocket or try to touch her inappropriately. You touched me inappropriately. You collected my money. You kept telling me to come and see you after school hours when nobody was there. Like, are you kidding me? This was classic, But I was just thank God that my mom was able to fight for me and, supported me and everything. And she never blamed me for anything. We never collected the money back till this day, because she just told him, keep the money, but don't ever in your life, like, after that day, if the guy sees my mom coming like this, he will pass this way. If he sees Mrs. Adejuma coming like this, he will pass this way, because and then he just also made other teachers in the school know that my siblings and I could not be touched in any way, in any improper way or anything. Like, don't mess with us in any way possible. So yeah, that is basically the story of how my mom saved me from this predator and abuser. Fun fact: about 2-3 years ago, I recently saw the man at an ATM machine, and he was like, "Oh, you don't remember me? I remember you." And I remembered it, but I had to act like I didn't know it. And then, after, "Oh, how are you? How is everything?" He's like, "Oh, how is your mom?" I'm like, "Ah, she's good." He's like, "Oh, you can never forget what she did to him that day." I'm like, "I'm glad you can never forget, and it still sticks in your head. So yeah, that's basically how my mom saved me. And like I said, this video is just to encourage other moms out there, even me, like, man, I'm to shame, and yeah, I'm just thankful, and just be motivated and just take care of your children. Don't listen to them, take their words for what they say. Don't let any teacher say, "Oh, that's not what happened." Your child will not lie to you, especially when they are children. They cannot lie to you. Listen to them, always check them, and all that great stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you want more story times. I have a lot of stories. I just don't know if I should share them. That's just always the issue. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you found yourself liking this video, leave a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Share with everybody that you know. And I will see you. Let me tell you. Bye guys.